Hello and welcome back. This is going to be a super quick video. What we're going to be doing in this is we're going to move forward from the macros video from last week, and we're going to briefly go back to the tic-tac-toe tutorial that we did, and we are going to rewrite part of the tic-tac-toe program using the macros that we've defined. But we're going to do a little bit more than that. We're going to start getting into some of the packaging of the Common Lisp world. It's a little bit confusing. It's taken me a while to start getting my head around it. It's no fault of the system, it's just it's different, and different requires that one learns, and that is what I'm doing. From the setup video, the Common Lisp setup video, we installed SBCL and QuickLisp, and these created a QuickLisp folder in the home directory. So if I load that up, so if we go, where is it? QuickLisp. I know I can't see it, but I know it's there. There we go. Couldn't see it for looking. We've got this QuickLisp folder. We've got local projects, and this is where things get downloaded and set up. And we've got this macro basics, which was something else. But we've got this mech. MEQ is what we called the package. And if we go to our tic-tac-toe package, I set this up using QL, QuickLisp. CL project is what I used to set this up. So this generated all this stuff for me, including an ASD file, which is asdf, another systems definition facility, I think is what it stands for. And these ASDs are like the make file of the Common Lisp world, and this is what one looks like. You define systems, and systems are a bundling up of Lisp code into a system, and you can save those systems and move them around, compile them up. Very organic things. But as part of that, we've got this thing called depends on. So I've got my tic-tac-toe asdf file here, and if you don't have one, I would suggest that you use CL project. What we'll do actually is we will get rid of the second project, and we'll create that fresh, and we'll just copy the file over from here into the source directory, and we'll build on top of that. So first things first, there we go. We want to load the CL project, and we do that with QuickLisp. And we pass in a path. There we go, local projects, tic-tac-toe 2, and we'll close the string. So this generates all these files for us. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. There we go. Let's open the second one. Let's go to the ASD file here. And this looks basically identical to what you saw in the original one, but if I open the code, tic-tac-toe 2 source main, there's nothing here. So just so that you can see what we're doing here, we're going to load the system. So QL quick load tic-tac-toe 2. And it's loaded that for us, and we have this tic-tac-toe namespace in our interpreter here. So I'm just going to use my shell, and I'm going to no, actually I'll just, do I have the file open? think I have the file open. That's fine. Tic-tac-toe, source, main. Just going to copy all of this. And paste it here. This is exactly the same code as we always had. We're just putting it in a new project. You can see we've got this thing here. So if we do this again, QL quick load, tic-tac-toe 2, it loads that just fine for us. Now, we want to include the macros that were written in a previous video. So we want to have our ASD file. So what I can do, thanks for the notifications, is this depends on is a way of having all our dependencies inside this ASD file. Sorry, I'm going to keep saying ASDF because the whole thing is called ASDF. It's just these files are ASDs. Nevertheless, this colon MEQ, what it does is it looks for a system in the local projects and it'll find this, but if this wasn't there it would go away into QuickLisp and try and find that as a distribution and pull it in, but my library, to the best of my knowledge, is not in QuickLisp. So this is just pulling it locally from my file system. Now if I try and load this again, you're going to see something. Did I save this? I think I saved this. It might be. I'm not sure why this is. You should have seen it loading the Mac thing. We'll see. It depends on MEQ. I saw it just a moment ago. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it now. Nevertheless, we are going to start changing our source code. And we are going to say we want to use CL. There we go, we're going to use mech. So I'm just going to load this again, make sure. Make sure there's no issues there. And we're going to use mech here. Now, I just want to remind myself how I wrote these macros. I'm pretty sure I remember, but I would rather do things the right way than try and do something crazy and then fail. So all we're going to do is we still want to do and here. What I want to do is mech with yeah, see, it's picked it up. So what we're doing is we're pulling. Are we getting symbols? I don't remember. So there's a symbol for the dash. Okay, so we want to use the equal, I think. Let's just check. Yes, it's the equal that we want to use. So with multiple equal is what we want. So we're going to pull this out. Pull this out. We're going to get rid of this. We don't want that because we're already checking that. So we're going to pull this one out. rid of that. We want to copy that, put that in our and then we return true. So that ends that. That ends the and, that ends the not, and this ends the multiple EQ. So that's great. So we're going to copy this and we are going to paste this here and delete that one. Actually, we're just going to delete all three of them just so I don't lose my place, which I'm more than likely to do if I'm not careful. So we'll get rid of these three and add in this one. And this one. And the third. So let's jump back and get rid of that. And we've got 2 zeros, so we can get rid of that. We're going to copy that. Oops. Oh, actually, it's super simple. I'll just change that to a 2. So we get rid of that. We're going to do the same for the columns. We're just going to copy these. Apologies that it takes a wee while to do this, but we'll be done shortly. And let's go to the beginning there, get rid of that, get rid of that. We're going to copy that, paste it in there. Cool, that's that one done. There we go, that's the columns, so we're just going to copy one of these, paste it twice. 2 and 2. I don't know what I copied there wrong, but that should be 2 and 2. Copied wrong. There we go. So we've now incorporated that macro, and we're going to close this down because we don't need it anymore. We can see how it works, and that looks a lot nicer. It's still a little bit, you know, long-winded, but if I was to do this, it adds more lines to the program overall, but I think it certainly reads a lot easier. Oops, a little too far. Hate using the mouse sometimes. There we go. You can see that our and starts here, and then we use our multiple equal macro to check 3 things are equal to one another, and this is the other part of the and clause. I suppose I could drop this down as well. You could see that it returns t, but that just looks a little bit weird, I think. And you can see how we might practically use a macro. And to confirm, we're going to quick load this again. That's loaded, so we're going to do tick. What do we call this? Game? No, I don't think that's what we called it. That is called game. So here's something else for the packaging system. Let's just make that one line, I guess. So you can see that we had to export the game function to make it available outside of the namespace, which is what we've done here. And you know, we can, I'm going to take 0, 0, 1, 1. Oh, it's got myself confused there. No matter, because we are, we're not compiling everything and throwing it in. We are just loading it. There we go. Okay, so Tic Tac Toe 2 game. I'll take the center space. And then it's going to be 0 and 1. And I want you can see that our macros are now working. They're plugged in. They're comparing to check the victory condition works, and you can see how we would we'd use them and bring them in. So that's finally finishing off our tic-tac-toe game, plugging in the macros we wrote last week and just a little bit with a packaging system there. So we're going to do more on the package system in the future, of course, but that is our tic-tac-toe and macros fully joined together now. It would take a little bit more to try and get this game any more interesting, I think, so we'll take a break from it for a while unless there's a compelling reason to come back to it, and we will start looking at some other features of the language in the next video. So I hope that was interesting. I hope some recent videos where we've done various things have brought this together to help make sense now. Please look after yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.